live? All right, good evening. My name is Lieutenant Joe Bottoms. I'm a lieutenant with the Modesto Police Department. Tonight, we're going to go over our military equipment policy. Just a brief history on how this all came about. If you remember last year, was the first year we did this. But back in 2021, the state of California deemed that much of the equipment that we use on a regular basis is considered military equipment. So therefore, they put in place rules on how we acquire that, how we purchase that, how it's used, and how it's approved. So a lot of that stuff now has to be all approved through a governing body, and in our case, it's the City Council. So we'll go through a PowerPoint on some of the requirements of AB 481, or our military equipment policy. Shouldn't take too long, maybe about 10-15 minutes, and then we'll go in the back lot where we have a whole bunch of stuff set up for you guys to view and look at and get your hands on. All right, like I said, some of the requirements that AB Assembly Bill 481 make us do are the annual report must be submitted to the City Council to determine compliance with Policy 710 or our military equipment policy. City Council will renew the ordinance, disapprove authorization for the equipment where standards have not been met or require modifications to the military equipment policy. Publication of the policy and the annual report are on our website. Some more requirements of Assembly Bill 481. We will hold a community engagement meeting, which you guys obviously know about that because you're here, and it was held today. Some of the annual report that we'll go over today, the details the usage and the deployment of the listed equipment, gives a summary of all the equipment we have, and then it lists purchased consumable items per the policy, and lists any policy violations and complaints, of which there were none. So there are 15 categories on which the state has determined what we could have be military equipment. We only have items in 6 of those categories. Category 1 is unmanned aerial vehicles, or UAVs, sometimes often referred to as drones, and we have those out back we'll show you. Category 2 is armored personnel carriers, or what we refer to as our SWAT truck. Category 5 is our mobile incident command post, which is our big giant RV out there. We pulled by a truck, and we use that as like a mobile area where administration can gather. We can get out of the weather or the heat. Category 10 of 15, specialized firearms and ammunition of less than 50 caliber, and that is considered not standard issue. Category 12 would be flashbangs, tear gas, or pepper balls. Category 14, which are projectile launch munitions, and the platforms which we launch those from. So real quick, we'll go over this stuff, and the good thing about this is you're going to see all the stuff in the back lot. And so, but because we are live streaming this, we're going to go over some of it just in case there's questions that we can answer. Again, category 1 are UAVs, or sometimes called drones. There's 12 of them, and they're listed there. A lot of these are older. The battery life doesn't last. They're some of the first generation type. We are actually one of the first agencies in the state of California to have a unmanned aerial vehicle program. So we're pretty proud of that. And so a lot of these were bought when we first started that up, and now they're getting older, just like your electric drill will get older and the battery doesn't last. Same type of thing. Ground vehicles or robots. We have 2 of those. They're listed there, and you'll see them in the back lot back there. Category 2, armored personnel carriers. It's not really what it sounds like. It's simply a armored vehicle. This is a SWAT truck. Most kids in the city of Modesto have probably crawled through it at one point or another at a school, because we take it out to the schools and let the kids crawl all over it, and they like that. But it's used to transport the SWAT team or do rescues or things like that. We have another vehicle we call the Peacekeeper, which is a older vehicle similar to that, but it's much older. It's armored as well. It's part of our Armadillo program, which I'm sure you heard about, where we put cameras on those vehicles and park them in areas like the mall during Christmas. So it's as a theft deterrent or possible high crime areas and things like that. But we do have one of those out there as well. The mobile incident command post, or the giant RV out there you'll see. It's a 2000 model Eagle, so we're coming up on 24 years old. It's pulled by a 2001 Ford truck, so it's coming up on 19 years old. Actually, I'm sorry, 23 years old. Those are both out there for you to look at. And like I said, it's for officers to get out of the weather or the heat during an incident that's taking place further away from the police department. Category 10, specialized firearms and ammunition. We have 21 old Vietnam-era rifles that we use for training, and you'll see those out there. 31 of these rifles were no longer used. Oh, I'm sorry. Never mind. Patrol rifle program, we have 32 Colt AR-15 rifles we use as patrol rifles, 52 M4 rifles we use as patrol rifles, and we have several other rifles that are used specifically by SWAT, including Colt M4s, HK MP5s, HK 416s, and a few sniper rifles. They also have a historical weapon out there. You'll see it's an Uzi. It's for historical purposes. We don't fire it. Category 12, you'll get to see firsthand pepper ball rounds and the launchers or that fire those pepper ball rounds, different flashbangs, different types of chemical agents that are used, and the items that are used to launch those chemical agents. And you'll also see aerial flashbangs. We're not going to light any off, unfortunately, if you're here for that. But those are out there, and you'll see some smoke canisters and some aerosol OC canisters. Also in category 14 are 77 Remington 870 shotguns. These have been repurposed from our original shotguns and converted into less lethal. You'll see those out there. They are used to fire a less lethal beanbag round, which you'll also see. Defense technology, 40 millimeter single shot launcher, it's like a bigger beanbag round or a foam baton round. It's quite a bit bigger diameter. It doesn't come out as fast. Just different tool for different situations. You'll also see 40 millimeter rubber baton rounds and the items used to launch those. And that is what you'll see. Are there any questions as far as what I just went over? No? Adam, any online questions?
No questions online. The beanbag rounds, are they so big?
Yeah, about that big. Yeah. He was doing that for those that are live streaming. You'll see them out there, but they look like obviously they have to be the same size as a shotgun shell because it shoots out of the shotgun platform. But they're different colored, they're labeled, and they're specifically meant for less lethal, as a less lethal projectile.
Now, are you considering any other less lethal weaponry to assist with whatever scenario you guys encounter out there? But so you're, because I'm sure the public's going to want to know that. Have you looked at other venues for that?
Sure, we have lots of less lethal tools. One of the tools that we are I don't want to say use often, but all the officers carry are the taser. The state of California is not determined that to be considered military, but every one of our officers are equipped with a taser. In fact, we're just getting ready to buy all brand new state-of-the-art tasers for every single officer. One of the first agencies in the state or the country actually to buy those. So that's on the horizon. But we prescribe to lots of different less lethal tools, whatever type of tool fits that situation. And we're always looking for, we're very, we rely a lot on technology, and we're always open to new things. So something hits the market, we like to check it out and see if that's the right tool for the certain situation we're looking for. Doesn't mean everything is, but we're at least open to look at it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I can imagine there's always new technology popping up. It's something you guys probably would consider looking into.
Police work is always changing, and it's not what it was 20 years ago. And there's lots of different tools out there, so we're always looking at that. Any other questions? Adam, any questions online?
Yep.
Any comments online?
Not related to what we're talking about.
Okay, all right.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Are there agencies outside of this area that have looked at what you guys are purchasing or just trying to, advance yourself with technology? Are they looking at you guys as a model? Has anybody ever commented or?
Good, great question, and absolutely. We have a lot of agencies that will come and visit us about our technology. So for instance, we have something called the Real-Time Crime Center, RTCC, and we get agencies all over the state and sometimes out of the state that want to come visit and want to come see the type of technology that we're implementing. State-of-the-art, cutting edge for this area and for the state. The Real-Time Crime Center does a tremendous job of lowering our call volume for officers who are out on the street taking calls. It controls a lot of our cameras that we can get live feed of crimes that are happening in progress. It's almost like a dispatch center on steroids where you can see what's going on cameras, but yet you could talk to the officers and talk to the person reported at the same time. It's really pretty neat, and a lot of other agencies are following suit because of the technology that we've implemented. Yes, sir.
It's not related to AB 481, but I remember watching on Live PD, the various law enforcement agencies use a form of, I think kind of like a sticky substance where they chase a car and they just shoot it out and they just tag, they just let a car go by and then they let other officers know that the suspect's going somewhere. Are you considering finding that type of technology for, change for pursuit policy?
Absolutely. In fact, we currently have those now. Star Chase, I believe they're called. It's just like you described it, a sticky, gooey blob that shoots out, and it will attach to a car, and it tells us where that car might be going. So yeah, we do that. It's not, again, it's just supposed to be military equipment. I welcome any question. I'll be more than happy to answer it. But yeah, we don't list that because in this meeting, we only listed the equipment that the state of California deems to be military equipment. But great question. All right, anything else? Fire them at me. I didn't get dressed up for nothing. Adam, anything else?
Do you guys have any scenarios? I know on the news all these universities are having major outbursts of protest.
Mm-hmm.
I guess some of them gotten violent, but that's why I was asking about less lethal weaponry you guys have,
Mm-hmm.
because hopefully nothing happens at MJC, but just in case, do you guys have a strategy or a plan put in place to deal with that kind of scenario?
Absolutely, and our mobile field force team and our command staff are always talking about those sorts of situations and how we're preparing for that. We train on a regular basis for any sort of protest situation. We obviously support anyone's right to protest and to speak their mind. However, we're always prepared for when we need to step in and either protect someone's right for that or protect property. Any other questions before we head out? It's a little warm out there. I'm going to bring some water, some ice water for you guys walking around the parking lot. So, all right. This is Lieutenant Schuler. Eric, where are you at there, bud? There you are. If you guys want to follow him, we're going to walk straight out the back there, and we'll go ahead and get started with our hands-on stuff.